Welcome to Level Up Longfellow with Mr. Kitzero.
Hello, Longfellow scholars. It's been a while. Welcome back to another edition of Level Up Longfellow. I'm Mr. Kitzero. I'm your principal. It's time for us to check in. It's time for us to hear from some Longfellow students and talk about the remarkable challenge that you take on each and every day called virtual learning. In the last survey taken by Longfellow students, I asked you to describe virtual school using 3 words. The adjectives and ways that students described virtual school were all over the board.
Fun, boring, stressful, relaxing, comfy, different, interesting, weird, challenging, easy, hard, important, all right, unique, useful, tiring, exhausting, flexible, funny, independent, odd, okay, quiet, new. After hearing those answers, you might be asking, how can something be described as easy and hard, fun and boring? Well, everyone has different perspectives on how things are going, and everybody has a different experience. Your answers might even depend from class to class and day to day. There's a lot of ebbs and flows of virtual learning. Let's not ignore the fact, though, that we live in crazy times, and what you're doing is something that nobody has ever been asked to do before. How you are learning is incredibly difficult. Let's think about your parents, for example. How would they have done as a 13-year-old in virtual learning? We'll never know. They never had to go through that challenge. How about your teachers? How did they do? Again, they'll never know. They never had to go through this remarkable challenge that you are being faced with. How about you, Mr. Morris? What was middle school like in the 1980s for you? Shortly before I was actually born.
Wow, that was such a long time ago. I guess in some ways it was similar, where we'd have different teachers for different classes, and we would go around the building and be able to go to specialists and mix up with our other kids. But I think the big difference would have been technology, because for our technology, sometimes when we got lucky, they would wheel in a TV on a cart and we would get to watch a video. I wonder what virtual learning would have looked like for us back then.
This is taking so long, and all I asked was if I could go use the bathroom.
Not even Morris had to do virtual school. So shout out to you, Longfellow students. You are making this happen. You are trying your best. We ask that you continue to show up to your Zoom classes, participate with your teachers and your fellow students, and keep putting your best foot forward by reading and learning. I thought it would also be fun to ask our teachers to describe virtual learning, also just using 3 words. Always an adventure, a wild adventure. Together we can. Bananas, new, beneficial, lonely, cozy, independent, responsibility, individualized, relationships, roller coaster, safe, flexible, marathon, laughing, frustrating, Zoom, zeal, and zest, proud, resourceful, grind, opportunity, temporary, exhausting, adventurous, inventive, strange, bittersweet, connecting, necessary, techie, innovative, focused, unfamiliar, communicative, challenging, 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 challenging. It is really important that our teachers and our students are always talking about what it is like, what are the current challenges, what are the successes and joys, and how do we keep moving forward together. The next question on the survey asked Longfellow students to describe their favorite Zoom class. Many students just listed their favorite class, even algebra. With less to do during the pandemic, maybe solving for x in the equation is the new best form of entertainment. I'm going to guess it's just because Mrs. Shallow and the amazing algebra teacher that she really is. Mara from CRVA answered, social studies. It's interesting, exciting, and is taught by my favorite teacher. Keep up the great work, Mara, and keep up the great work, Miss Rotz. Lucas from CRVA wrote, my favorite Zoom class so far would be ELA, because I enjoy writing subjects that we, write about. Madeline from ExplorerPod said, when people use the chat to talk, and when we get to show off our animals while doing schoolwork. Every day is now Bring Your Pet to School Day. We'll chalk that up as one of the bonuses of learning from home. Paige from CooleyPod wrote, my favorite Zoom class is probably art because everyone talks, and in art you can share your work. It makes it a lot more fun. This is great. Thank you, Paige. A good reminder to not be afraid to talk or turn those cameras on. I know you missed your classmates. Braden from UnityPod said, I like all of my classes because in reality, to be honest, these are the best teachers I've ever had. We had other great responses from students that they liked classes where teachers would take a break to play a game, to ask how they were doing each day, to play music on Fridays, classes where they felt like things were clearly explained, and especially classes where students talked more. That's another good point there. Be brave, Longfellow students. Turn your cameras on, talk to your teachers, and talk to one another. We know you miss socializing that way.
The next question on the survey asked Longfellow students to identify one person who they felt like they could talk to when school was stressful. Many students identified a parent or a guardian, a teacher, a friend, or even a sibling. When you're feeling stressed out, don't bottle it up. Talk to someone. Oftentimes it can really help. The last question on Mr. Kitzrow's survey asked Longfellow students, in the spirit of giving thanks, please describe one thing that you are grateful for during this pandemic.
Elia from ExplorerPod said, I'm thankful for doctors that are putting forth effort to helping people. This is very thoughtful, Elia. We should all be thankful for the medical professionals on the front line during this pandemic. Thank you to all the Longfellow parents and guardians working on the front lines. Sayuli from NavigatorPod said, I'm grateful for our teachers and counselors because they can always help us when we are stuck on something. Yes, they can, Sayuli. We are here to help. Whisper from ExplorerPod said, how hard the teachers are working to keep our education going. Ellie from NavigatorPod said that my family is safe and healthy. I hope all of our Longfellow families are staying safe and healthy during this time, physically, mentally, and emotionally. When asked what she's grateful for, Naomi from RiverPod answered that there are plenty of Dollar Tree crafts to do. Naomi brings up a great point. Hobbies and healthy ways to occupy our minds are super important during this time. Brooklyn from NavigatorPod wrote, I am grateful for my baby sister. She screams every 5 seconds, but I still love her. That is very sweet of you, Brooklyn, and also super impressive. I just looked at your grades on Skyward, and you are rocking it. Screaming baby sister and all, you are finding a way to learn and move forward. I'm very proud of you. Kieran from CRVA responded to what she is grateful by saying, Netflix, so I don't get bored staying at home. Speaking of Netflix, Kieran, I just saw my monthly Netflix bill went up to $17.99 a month. With the limited entertainment options of our COVID world, I'm not prepared to cancel my subscription, but I'm unhappy about this Netflix. Tehran from CRVA answered that we are lucky enough to have access to school during the pandemic. I'm going to sound really old and really cheesy, but there are kids your age around the world, Longfellow, that do not have the opportunity to get an education. Tehran, thank you for your thoughtful and wise answer. One more survey will go out to Longfellow students before we head into holiday break, so stay tuned and make sure you complete that survey. I did choose 3 random winners for Longfellow t-shirts for those who participated in this last survey. Congratulations to Elena from NavigatorPod, Lily from CRVA, and Owen from CooleyPod. I'll be reaching out to you via email to get your t-shirt size and getting you those shirts soon. The last thing I want to talk about today is about next week, which is Holiday Spirit Week. Alright, so for Holiday Spirit Week, this is going to begin on December 14th, that Monday, and run through the entire week to Friday, December 18th. We're going to have a variety of different days and challenges for students, from different things from keeping your camera on to creating the most creative virtual background that we'll judge and give prizes for. And we'll even end on Friday, December 18th, with something fun school-wide at 1:30 and give you an opportunity to socialize and have fun. There will be prizes for the winning pods and a bracket challenge and the background challenge with different Longfellow gear, gift cards to Culver's, to Dunkin' Donuts, and other places as well. So stay tuned for more specific information on what those competitions will look like and how you can win. Let's end this wild 2020 year by having some fun here at Longfellow. Keep up the hard work, Longfellow scholars, and we'll see you next time.